I think I have the dubious distinction of being the first doctor in our group to have a personal lawsuit filed against me. And I can tell you that in my field, I'm the most published person in my field in the world in history. I study heart and kidney interactions. I have over 650 peer-reviewed publications in the National Library of Medicine. I have been an editor of 2 major journals over a long period of time, and a contributing author to basically the Bible of cardiology, which is Braunwald's Textbook of Cardiology, now going on my 3rd decade. And I can tell you, after a perfect track record at my academic institution in terms of grants, patient care administration, the course of the pandemic, like Dr. Merrick and Corey and others and Lowry, I innovated with groups of doctors all over the world to try to come up with a treatment approach to patients with COVID-19. I did the best I could with protocol development. I did the best I could with comparative studies showing that the methods indeed reduced hospitalization and death. I was asked, like Dr. Corey, to testify to America under oath at the US Senate hearings, the first set on November 19th in 2020. By the end of January, before I said a word about the vaccines, I was walked into a room at the end of a busy day in the hospital, and I was told by 2 administrators to turn in my badge, that my contract was not going to be renewed for no reason, that there was no reason. And I had a complete set of recorded conversations where I was threatened by administrators before my US Senate testimony, as well as through a whole series of interactions over the 3 months leading up to that. I recovered and I transferred my entire practice to a private practice on the same campus, kept my medical staff privileges. And then on the day my health system announced unwanted, unnecessary vaccine mandates, the health system went to the press before they went to the courts and told the press they were going to sue me for a large sum of money to try to professionally crush me. And then I had to scramble attorneys into court. And so, like Dr. Merrick now, my life has been complicated by incredible numbers of legal proceedings, an unprecedented amount of dollars spent by the health system in trying to pursue me in a lawsuit that on its face has no merits. And I filed a motion, what's called the SLAP motion, which is I filed a motion that this lawsuit is a strategic lawsuit to prevent my public participation in events like this one today, that this is an open act of censorship. But it didn't stop there. I collaborated with Dr. Jessica Rose, a viral epidemiologist. We use the US VAERS system. We put together a manuscript that was solid. It was an observational manuscript. We had an editorial dialogue welcoming the paper to Current Problems in Cardiology, which is a reasonably highly ranked review journal in cardiology. This was fully peer-reviewed, fully accepted, typeset. Contracts were signed, payments were made, copyright assignment, color figure charges, everything was done. This was fully cited in the National Library of Medicine, and it was widely utilized until 5 days before the pediatric meeting of the US FDA on approval of vaccines ages 5 to 11. And then Elsevier pulled the paper down and then afterwards notified us that they were pulling it down because in their view, the paper wasn't sufficiently invited by the journal to begin with. That is not a reason in the contract that they can ever pull down a paper. They can pull down a paper for scientific invalidity. They have the right to do that after publication. So now we are in the process of filing a lawsuit in the United States with probably litigators in the Netherlands against Elsevier, the world's largest medical publisher, for breach of contract and a ridiculous, in a very completely inept manner. They've actually even kept the fees that they charge for publication and to this day. And we're going to sue them for tortuous interference. They are interfering with the business of academic publication and our right to disseminate scientific information to the community. So we'll have to see. You're seeing a lot of bravery and you're seeing a lot of integrity from physicians. Let's see this from our attorneys. And then we're going to have to press a corrupt court system and win our day in court. If not, we'll win our day in the court of public opinion.